Fuck all of you. Fuck all these guys.
Yeah, for real.
That many girls into our club.
Yeah.
We're just walking around on stuff, and we're just.
All right, this is the Grift Report, ladies and gentlemen. And since we were talking about Batman Cape Crusader, I figure...
Yeah, that sounder at the beginning doesn't really make sense. And especially, I can see some of the comments and where they're coming from. Because we literally say, Mom, they're letting girls in her, And we're basically saying that,
Why are you describing them theme song?
I'm not. I'm saying, we're basically saying that only guys.
No, we will talk about a woman grifter today.
No, I'm glad. We're
As I
given
mentioned,
a voice.
Equal opportunity to be shit on if you're a grifter.
Yeah. No, if you're, yeah.
Because we got criticized that
we will shit on both men and women.
As we said at the top of the show, we got criticized because last week we didn't include that Star Wars girl's opinion on She-Hulk. And I've listened to her opinion on She-Hulk, and it sounds just like every other fucking grifter.
Isn't that the guy who talked about victim something?
Who
too?
fucking cares?
Yeah, whatever.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck
Heel
that
versus
guy.
babyface and that Star Wars girl had to talk about the Batman Cape Crusader news on Tuesday, I believe is when these videos went up.
What's the woke part of it that they're mad about?
I'll actually have it in the heel versus babyface clip.
Nice.
Because they...
Let them dig their own
I just
hole.
want to point this out in a smaller scale of the Grift Report to just be like, this is all they need.
Yeah.
They will take one line from a PR event, from a sizzle reel.
Look, they're trying to groom.
Yeah. And that's the only little nugget that they'll need to build their narrative. Because almost all of these grifts are either built on a lie or a half-truth.
Yeah.
Where someone did say this, but that doesn't mean what they think it means. Just because you're saying, hey, there's just going to be, a little bit more diversity in the cast. That's not being woke. That's just saying that, hey, there's just going to be, diverse.
Yeah, we're
group
more
of people.
representative of the actual. We're more representative of the actual world that we live in.
So is your definition so slim on woke that if you say by any way that's saying that there's people in it that aren't white, it's woke?
Yeah, that's basically what they're saying.
Because heel versus babyface in his video tries to be like, they act like
you mean this guy? The comedy.
The fucking comedy.
Did you make it?
No, I didn't.
Damn it.
That's the one. I think when I cut these clips last night, I was like, I'm forgetting something, and that's what I was forgetting.
You son of a bitch!
Think of the comedy.
Think of the comedy.
But he's trying to say that what Bruce Timm was saying in that clip and what the woke thing agenda whatever has been saying this whole time. They're acting like black people and people of color never existed in movies before now, and it's like, no, that is not.
Look at the statistics.
No, but even still, you could go back to the MCU that you guys hate so much. You only hate it now because there's more women in it. Because first three phases, I've talked about this on the podcast before.
All white dudes.
Until 2018, they were all white leads.
All white dudes.
And then they had a black lead in Black Panther and a woman lead in Captain Marvel.
And you guys couldn't fucking believe the fucking temerity of Marvel Studios to have a movie without a white dude front and center.
All that this whole woke thing agenda is saying that there are still an incredible amount of white leads. White leads are not going anywhere.
Right?
They're still going to be there.
Jesus.
They're just saying we want to see more. All they're saying is there's going to be a more diverse group of people. That's really all it is.
Hey, there's two non-MCU or DC related superhero movies out right now. And one of them is called Secret Headquarters, and the other one is called Samaritan.
I've not seen Samaritan.
I have no interest whatsoever in either one of these movies, but they are superhero movies. Okay. Guess what gender and race the lead actor for each of those movies is?
Well, I want to say white
guy. Yeah, white guys.
White guys.
Yeah, they're still doing it. You fucking jerk offs. I mean,
anyway,
what the fuck?
Here's the first clip, and here's what. The clip that I have is what Bruce Timm says, and then heel versus babyface's reaction. I've cut out
Mr. Potato Head.
I cut out the part where he makes a joke about J.J. Abrams because you see a picture of J.J. Abrams.
We call them chips over here.
And he's like, "Speak of the devil," and he appears. I was like, "That's a dumb joke. Just move on." Yeah. The only editing I did on these clips, just so people know, I'm not taking anybody out of context. Most of the edits I did are clipping out breaks in his voice because this motherfucker is like the quartering and takes a long time to get to his point. And I'm not trying to make fun of his speech. I'm just saying he takes a lot of breaks. So all I did was like clip it up a little bit so it moves at a faster pace.
Sure.
The way we deal with the characters is going to be quite a bit more modern in terms of inclusivity, representation, things like that.
Inclusivity, representation, it's
What?
a little bit more modern.
Can't help
what a
himself,
lie.
can he? He has to do the lispy voice.
The great lie that Hollywood have only just become inclusive and diverse, as if black people, women, brown people, Asians, gay people had never existed before. And the wonderful aspect of this, of course, is the reason why they didn't have representation was it was our fault.
White people.
Somehow.
It was white people's fault.
So there's the made up lie about inclusion, representation, etc. And then there's the blame as if it was our fault. Okay.
Hey, buddy, look, nobody is actually out loud saying it's white people's fault.
Yeah.
But what they're saying is the people who empower and still are in power are white people.
Yeah.
And white people have, yes, there have been movies with black characters in them before and in different representation of different groups before, but they were almost always the butt of a joke. They weren't taken seriously. They were a sidekick, or if they were a gay character, you would kill them off because they were gay.
Right, yeah. There was never leads. I mean, and here...
No.
Look, man, let me just tell you exactly what you're saying, bro. Okay?
And then the fact that he's like, well, you're blaming white people. It's not white people's fault.
No, I'm blaming racists like you, and here's why I know you're a racist, okay? Here's why. And I know,
Oh, he's
but
gone mask off, believe me.
Here's why. You would tell a black child... First of all, I would never let you talk to a black... If I could help it, for fuck's sake. I would never... If I could help that, you never...
The whites are at it again.
But you would say, oh, well, I know that it would be much more empowering to you if you had a black Superman, but you see, that's a fictional character, and we're not willing,
Yeah. And again, it goes back to my point. Listen back to what Bruce Timm said. I'm just going to play what Bruce Timm said, and I'll stop the clip. There we go.
The way we deal with the characters is going to be quite a bit more modern in terms of inclusivity, representation, things like that.
So that's all he's saying.
Yeah.
That's all he's saying. What did you notice how quickly he jumped off of that and jumped on the whole? It's not white people like they're acting like any sort of minority leads have just become recently, and then they blame white people when that's not the case. And it's like, how this isn't even about Batman anymore. This isn't about this show anymore. You just need an excuse to have a jumping off point. It's the same time when they think they're pulling up receipts on the gay agenda at Disney when all that they were saying, their not so gay agenda, all they were saying was, we're going to have more inclusivity of, there might be a gay couple in the background, or there might be something,
I think the worst
trans
part
person
is that
in a scene.
These folks are literally, they're outing themselves by saying...
Yes. How are you upset about this?
No, they're outing themselves by saying, like, we all know with critical thinking that being gay or bisexual or transgender, we know because we're critical thinkers and we're decent human beings, that these are not choices that people just wake up one day and go, you know what? I've had enough pussy in my day, and now it's time to get some dick.
Hey, man.
That doesn't happen, okay? So... literally what's going on is that these people are saying that is what happens because they're saying that the more gay stuff we put out there, the more
everybody will be.
Right. And can I
but
just
they have no problem when it's straight stuff.
Can I just say, I grew up in the 70s and 80s where there was almost no gay representation in the media. I wasn't gay then. There's a lot more now. Still not enough, by the way. I'm serious.
Yeah.
There's a lot more. Hey, guess what? Still not gay.
Hey, look.
Can you believe it? How is that possible?
I saw two men kissing, and would you know it? I'm just like, I gotta fuck me a dude. You know?
Right? Uh-oh. Those two. It's implied that those two men had a relationship. Now I just gotta get.
Here's another clip that again sums up how little he actually cares. Like. He's trying to make this a win and make this a win for Warner Brothers. David Zaslav is getting rid of woke stuff.
He's defending Warner Brothers.
Yeah. So here's clip number 2.
Talk about a fucking shill, bro.
I feel like this just sums it up because this is what he truly believes. I don't think this is a grift.
Words. Now, I mean, even then, they're just
Talking about
clear markers
representation
that
and all
this is dead. This is dead already. Dead on arrival.
This show.
Because inclusivity and representation and diversity, these buzzwords which we use, we all know by now that these are just masking far left ideology, far left politics. That's all it's doing. That's all it's been doing for the last few years.
So
exactly few years.
So
dipshit.
this is what I love.
Just proved our point.
He almost gets it. Because he calls them buzzwords, and they are buzzwords.
Yes.
But this is, we just said a little bit ago, widest audience possible, and the widest way the biggest, widest audience, the best way you're going to do that is do what Bruce Timm did and do a PR statement. That statement that he made, while it is probably true, it's just a PR statement. You're trying to get eyeballs on your project. Mm-hmm. So you say, yeah, we acknowledge pretty much that the last Batman the Animated Series and the other cartoons, they always didn't have the most diversity. So we're just going to have more diversity. Mm-hmm. He could be, it doesn't have to be this big thing that they make it out to be.
No,
they're the ones making it a big deal. Nobody that saw that or heard that news thought that show was going to be woke in any way.
Well, they did. I mean,
normal people,
sure.
People that don't need to make money off this shit.
Let me make this kind of analogy or whatever. Like, okay, I grew up in North Dakota. Okay, I literally did not hang out with somebody who was not white on a regular basis until I moved to Iowa. Okay, so now, okay, let's look at it from there. Let's look at it as if they're right. Okay, Jake. Let's look at it as if they're right. There's a gay and woke agenda in Hollywood, okay? So so what they're saying is, okay, so imagine I wrote a story, a movie about my childhood in North Dakota.
Okay.
Now, based on fact, most of the cast members, if not all, would probably be white.
Yeah.
Now, what they're saying is, okay, let's argue their side. Let's argue that somebody from Warner Brothers, comes up to me and goes, hey, you need to have some minority members in your cast for more inclusivity, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that would upset me?
No.
No. Well, you want to know why?
As long as it sticks to just...
Because it doesn't affect the story.
I've said this before. I feel like unless you try and make your story about a specific point of view and someone living in a like you would with Miss Marvel, or if the story is about a black character and their experience, make it be that way. But most people, when you write a character, you could put any gender or race attached to them, unless you make it a part of their character.
I would have no problem, like if somebody
that's what you're saying. Like whenever you see these kind of, when people bitch about race swapping and this, that, or if being black or being like a Native American or an Asian, whatever the race may be, if that is not intrinsically tied to the character, why does it matter?
Exactly. And Warner Brothers comes to me. We want to buy your movie, make it the way you want it, da-da-da-da-da. Now, again, in my mind, because this is how it happened, I really, all my friends were white for first 6 years of my life or so, okay?
I lived in a mostly white area too.
Sure, but again, if I'm making a movie and they're like, "Hey, we got this great actor to play one of the friend characters," it probably even wouldn't be, because I wouldn't come into the project going, "All my friends have to be white." You know what I mean? Yeah. But say I did.
Yeah.
And somebody came, "Hey, we got this great actor. He's going to play one of the friends, but he is, say he's Puerto Rican and not white." I wouldn't go, "No way, man. No way, that's not my story."
Well,
I wouldn't.
Look at Percy Jackson's writer.
That kid
Rick
gets his big shot.
Yeah, but like
I'm going to deny it because he's not. That's shitty.
Like Rick Riordan or I don't remember how to say it.
Rick Riordan?
The guy who wrote the Percy Jackson books. Like we talked when we covered him and we talked about what he said. He's like, "Hey, I just picked the best best actors for the roles." So.
When I wrote my book and I rewrote it.
But don't say that you have diversity because you're woke. Here's that Star Wars girl talking about Batman Cape Crusader. By the way, these are like the only two.
I just call it being a decent human being.
Here's my favorite thing where we caught this grift, because I thought I was going to mine more clips out of it. I didn't, because really only 2 people talked about this, and it was that Star Wars girl and Heel versus Babyface.
Wow.
Were there other channels that talked about this in this going with this angle? Yes, but much smaller channels, and we want to punch up. We don't want to punch down or adjacent. We want to punch
adjacent.
Up. Because I think they had more, these other channels I saw, I'm pretty sure they had more subscribers than we did or whatever. But, they were a small channel.
Hang on, I just came over. Keep going.
You keep nodding. It's great for audio.
When you're done, I got something.
Well, let's get to the next clip.
Ba 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 ba. I want to punch adjacent.
I'm not even gonna set up this clip.
I hate you.
Here's why that Star Wars girl thinks DC and Warner Brothers are failing when she heard this news about Batman.
They don't have any money. They're
Sorry, her mic's
bleeding freaking money because of all of these fucking weirdos that got a hold of these characters that they know absolutely nothing about, and 2, that they don't even care about. All they care about is using these characters.
This is my favorite part.
Their, already established fan base to market their weird, twisted narratives and agenda. That's all they care about. They don't care about telling good stories.
She's gonna stick the landing.
They don't care about making money. They don't.
I'm sorry. That was the last part I wanted you to hear. One more time. I was talking over it. I apologize.
They don't have any money. They're bleeding freaking money because of all of these fucking weirdos that got a hold of these characters that they know absolutely
no
nothing
money.
about.
They have no money.
Even care about. All they care about is using these characters with their already established fan base to market their weird, twisted narratives and agenda. That's all they care about. They don't care about telling good stories. They don't care about making money. They don't.
What?
So wait, you start the argument off with they're losing money,
because they're woke.
And then you end it with because they're woke, they don't want to make any money.
Yeah, because they don't care about.
So
they're doing woke things and ruining characters because they don't care about the characters. They want to push their weirdo, coded pedo is what she means.
Sure,
weirdo narratives.
Yeah, way to just call everybody who's not white and Christian and hetero weird. What a fucking creep.
So she goes on.
You do know that's what you said, that Star Wars girl, right?
Yeah, she goes on to talk
about. You're gross.
Talk about this show and saying that, like, it's unfortunate because Bruce Timm made all these great cartoons in the past, but now, he's working with J.J. Abrams, and J.J. Abrams is going to make it woke.
Did I apologize to J.J. on air?
Look.
After this,
Tyler, you're feeling. Don't apologize. If you don't like J.J. Abrams, you don't like.
No, but I kind of gave him some hate that he didn't need, and right now the right fucker, the right guys are going after him now, and I don't like that because I feel like maybe they're
jumping off point for hating on this Batman thing is not because it's Bruce Timm. They still have to give the nerd cred to Bruce Timm.
Sure.
So they're blaming J.J. Abrams.
Of course.
And they're attacking J.J. Abrams.
And I don't need him to get any more hate that he hasn't already gotten. Now, yeah, you did fuck up Star Wars, dude. I'm sorry, you did. My dude, you fucked up Star Wars. You did.
So that Star Wars girl thinks that this topic deserves to be talked about.
But so did that Star Wars girl. She fucked up Star Wars too. But Star Wars fandom.
But here's the thing. So she thinks this is a topic worth making a video for. But at the same time, she doesn't think it's a big deal and thinks it's probably a good thing that Batman Cape Crusader was canceled because, well, kids don't really care about these kind of cartoons anymore.
They just don't care. They don't like any of this shit. Everything that they're talking about is like Fortnite, Legos, and the Lego TV shows like Ninjago, and then like YouTubers. They don't care about all of this woke bullshit that these demented adults are trying to force feed them. They don't give a shit.
I'm surprised she didn't mention MySpace.
Yeah. So she's pretty much...
You sound like the biggest fucking out-of-touch fucking idiot adult.
Hey, she's not wrong about...
Fortnite and video games and bubblegum and condoms and football.
You like Legos. So you're not
no,
a kid.
But she sounded like just an idiot, just fucking spraying shit she heard
My favorite
somewhere.
thing is how she caps...
Fucking moron.
She caps it off that like only adults and YouTubers would want to watch this. So...
You're a fucking YouTuber, you jackass.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all for the Grift Report. So people say let's have
once again they just made them easy targets for us.
Let's have that Star Wars girl have her opinions on She-Hulk and whatnot.
Yeah.
I watched a video that she made right before episode 2 dropped.
Okay.
The clip for episode 2 came out, and it was the episode where she comes into the firm. That scene was released early. She spent a 10-minute video dissecting this scene, and she complained. She does what I do, as I said, I felt like it was a cliche. She's like, "Oh, of course, the white dudes are laughing in the thing,
yep.
so it's woke bad." She criticizes She-Hulk for looking at the camera and complaining that she got this job because she was She-Hulk, not because she was Jen. And she's like, again, before she sees the episode, she goes, "It's a superhero law division. Of course, you're gonna look like a superhero." And it's like, clearly you don't know the context of the scene, and you don't know the context of the episode.
But let me blather on endlessly about it because I think everybody needs to hear my fucking poopy mouth comes out with. I wish I had a better
and so she spends this whole
poopy
time
mouth.
saying that all Jen does is complain and nag in this one scene from this episode that she has not seen yet. And it's like, your criticism is that you don't like that she's complaining and bitching, and it's like, why you wouldn't if you work hard your whole career. And then, another thing she says, she goes, "Well, if it's so bad, start your own firm. Start your own firm."
Okay,
and I'm like,
no,
does it anywhere in the show? Does it say that she has?
Down.
Does she have a lot of money? We don't know that. We don't know how much money she has in her show.
She does mention 6 figures of student loan debt.
And she literally just lost
I can't believe Biden got ahead and rid that shit because I worked hard my whole life.
And again, even before seeing episode 2, you don't know how much money she makes. And then if you would have waited to criticize the scene when the episode actually came out, you could actually view it from a different lens.
Oh my God.
And see that she just got fired a few days ago.
Right. And here's the other thing, that Star Wars girl, this is exactly what happens. You get hired, get a huge 7-figure deal for your YouTube bullshit, and you walk into the media company the first day, and the first thing they tell you is, I'm sorry, you can't call yourself that Star Wars girl anymore. You have to call yourself that Star Trek girl.
And you can't wear this you can't wear this outfit. You have to wear something.
You would lose your shit if that happened.
Anybody
and you
would.
dared. You're right. Any person, any human
take away
being.
gender. If I were that,
Right.
if I had to change into this, my Hulk form,
you have to change that Star Wars person. Let's really piss him off. Off panel, off job here with Jake and Tyler.